Welcome to ICJA's training on Introduction to Notice of Funding Opportunities, a guide to navigating grant opportunities. Today we'll explore how NOFO work, where to find them, and how to use them effectively to secure funding. This session covers their purpose, structure, and key resources to help you succeed. Let's get started. A Notice of Funding Opportunity, or NOFO, announces available grant funding and serves as a planning tool that outlines grant expectations and conditions. It includes standardized language, program-specific details, and key information such as eligibility criteria, evaluation processes, and application submission requirements. NOFOs are posted on the ICJA website and are also sent via email to those subscribed to the ICJA listserv. Applications for NOFO are submitted through the Amplifund platform, if indicated. To learn more about Amplifund and how to navigate the application process, visit our website or attend one of our training webinars. Before applying, make sure to complete these essential steps. First, obtain a DUNS number and register with sam.gov. Next, acquire a unique entity ID and verify your EIN. Then, register in the grantee GATA portal and ensure you maintain good standing with GATA requirements. For more detailed GATA training, visit our website. Remember, completed applications must be submitted according to the provided instructions by the deadline. ICJA also encourages you to review the technical assistance recording for additional guidance. Every NOFO follows a structured format to assist applicants. It details the program's purpose, outlines funding specifics, identifies eligibility criteria, and offers clear application instructions. Important information includes agency contacts, timelines, technical assistance sessions, and submission requirements through Amplifund, if applicable. To proceed with absolute confidence, and I cannot emphasize this enough, it is crucial that you thoroughly review all sections. Remember, GATA pre-qualification is not just important, it is the essential first step you must take. Now let's turn to the program description section of the NOFO. This section is important because it explains the purpose, intent, and expectations of the program. It begins with the purpose, which describes the goal of the funding and the areas it is intended to support, followed by background information that provides context for the funding opportunity. The program design section explains what applicants should include in their project plans. This is where you connect identified needs to proposed activities and expected outcomes and show how your project aligns with the program's priorities. A strong program design clearly describes project goals, key activities, timelines, staff roles, and expected outcomes. The section also outlines program requirements, including eligibility rules and applicant obligations, and highlights expectations around evidence-based programs or practices. Finally, it explains performance measures, which describe how success will be tracked and reported, and identifies priorities, or key focus areas, that align with agency goals. Understanding these elements will help you design a proposal that aligns with the program's intent and strengthens your application. The funding information section outlines key financial details, including total funding available, grant sizes, eligible uses, expected awards, and the required funding period. The award period specifies the start and end dates, ensuring applicants align their project timelines for compliance. Understanding these details helps in planning realistic budgets and proposals. The eligibility section defines which entities can apply for funding, focusing on two key aspects: the match requirement, where applicants may need to contribute a percentage of their own funds, and the indirect cost rate, which sets the allowable portion of grant funds for administrative or overhead costs. Simply put, these are the behind-the-scenes costs that support the overall operation of the program, such as accounting, human resources, office space, and utilities. Applicants should review these details carefully to ensure compliance before applying. The application instructions section outlines the key steps applicants must follow to successfully submit an application. It explains how and where to access the application package, as well as what information must be included and how materials should be formatted. This section also explains important registration requirements, including obtaining a unique entity identifier number and completing sam.gov registration, which are required before an application can be submitted. In addition, the application instructions clearly identify submission deadlines, accepted methods of submission, and any funding restrictions or eligibility requirements that applicants must follow to remain compliant. Applicants are strongly encouraged to carefully review all instructions and requirements before submitting their application. Missing steps, incomplete information, or late submissions can result in disqualification. Taking the time to follow the application instructions closely will help ensure your application is complete, compliant, and ready for review. This section includes important information about who to contact, program requirements, and available question and answer resources. It tells applicants where to go if they need help or clarification while preparing their application. If questions come up at any point in the process, applicants should refer to this section to understand the appropriate way to communicate with the agency and where to submit questions. Using the correct contact channels helps ensure consistent and accurate guidance. Clear and timely communication with the agency can help prevent misunderstandings, reduce errors, and improve the overall quality of applications submitted for review. Now let's walk through the application review process. Once applications are submitted, they go through a review and selection process to determine how well they align with the criteria outlined in the NOFO. Each application is carefully evaluated based on those requirements. If an applicant disagrees with a funding decision, there is an appeal process available, which is outlined in the NOFO. Applicants should follow those steps if they choose to request a review of the decision. A debriefing process is also available for applicants who would like feedback on their submitted proposal. This can be a helpful opportunity to understand strengths and areas for improvement. Applicants who are selected for funding will be notified and assigned a point of contact to guide them through next steps. The overall review process may take 30 days or more, depending on the number of applications received. We also want to share that we have a new initiative involving community volunteers who assist with application reviews. This approach helps bring diverse perspectives into the process and supports equity in funding decisions. This section describes what is expected of grantees after an award is issued. It includes information about official award notifications, as well as the requirement to comply with all applicable state and federal laws, policies, and grant conditions. It also explains the ongoing reporting responsibilities grantees must meet, such as submitting regular program and financial reports to track progress, activities, and use of funds. In addition, this section identifies any additional documentation required for federally funded grants to ensure transparency and accountability. Meeting these expectations is essential for maintaining good standing with the funding agency and supporting successful grant implementation throughout the award period. This section provides the contact information for the state awarding agency. It identifies who applicants should reach out to if they have questions or need clarification about the NOFO, the application and submission process, or specific grant requirements. Applicants are encouraged to use this section to connect with the appropriate agency representatives rather than guessing or relying on informal sources. Reaching out through the correct channels helps ensure accurate and consistent information. Having the right contact information and using it when needed supports clear communication, helps resolve questions early, and can make the overall application process smoother and more successful. This final section includes additional information that may be helpful as you prepare your application. It may contain important reminders, supplemental resources, or clarifications that were not addressed in earlier sections of the NOFO. Applicants are encouraged to review this section carefully to make sure they haven't missed any key details or requirements before submitting their application. With that, this concludes our overview. As we wrap up, here are a few final tips to help you use the NOFO effectively and set yourself up for success. Start by taking the time to thoroughly review the NOFO so you clearly understand the grant's purpose, requirements, and expectations. The NOFO is your primary guide throughout the entire application process. Be sure to share the NOFO with your team, including program, fiscal, and leadership staff, so everyone involved is working from the same information and understands their role in developing the application. Use the NOFO as a checklist as you prepare your submission. This can help ensure that all required sections, attachments, and supporting documentation are completed and included before you submit. Pay close attention to the application instructions, especially submission deadlines, formatting requirements, and required forms. Following these details carefully can help you avoid delays or disqualification. If questions or uncertainties come up along the way, refer back to the NOFO first, and don't hesitate to reach out to the contact listed for clarification. Asking questions early can help prevent issues later in the process. Thank you all for taking the time to walk through this information with us today. We appreciate your interest and effort, and we wish you the very best of luck as you prepare and submit your application.